What's happening, Hoodlum Gang? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Hoodie from the Hood, aka your friend from that big O N, and I'm back at y'all with another video. But before we get started, if you happen to be new to the channel, want to become a member of the Hoodlum Gang, all you gotta do is hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave me a comment, share the video, tell a friend to tell a friend, and go on over to IG and follow me at Hoodie from the Hood. Now y'all see the title, man. I want to go ahead and get into this, as a lot of people was calling a funeral. It was the Kendrick and Lamar, the pop-out show. If y'all been tuning in, y'all seen a few videos where I kind of touched on this, because I am a supporter. Y'all know I don't like the word fan. I'm a supporter of hip-hop, and I'm a supporter of football. So every now and then I might dabble in them conversations, especially if you catch me on live. I'm gonna wait till this helicopter go over. Yeah, so I spoke on that when it first popped off. It was big news in the hip hop world, even though this is not a hip hop channel. But especially if you've been paying attention over the past 11 years since the Control verse, which sparked this off, you know, as far as being two of the biggest rappers, having a Jay-Z and Nas type of moment. But if you ask me, even bigger, because the times we live in and the amount of diss tracks that was put out within a short amount of time. So anyways, basically, it had been getting promoted over the past probably 3 weeks that Kendrick was gonna have a show in Inglewood at the Forum called the Pop Out, Ken and Friends, on Juneteenth. So that's pretty much what happened yesterday. It went down. I didn't sit there and watch the whole thing. I actually did, but not when it was happening. I believe I caught like a little bit when Problem was performing. Then I think I came back when he was doing collard greens with Schoolboy Q. And then I left out and I came back at the end when him and Dre was performing. And then the rest of it. So basically, the show was a monumental show. It was big for the West Coast. Listen, for him to be at the status that he is in the game at this point, for him to be able to bring all them people together. If you from the West Coast, you know who all them artists is. Outside of the West Coast, you probably don't know everybody. You know the big names. You know Kendrick, you know Dre, you know Ty Dolla $ign, you know Roddy Ricch, you know Mustard, YG, Tyler the Creator. I don't know who else y'all probably knew outside of that. But for us to be able to see the younger, the smaller artists who they got big names over on this side, the Blue Bucks Clans, the G Pericos, the RJs, Wale the Senseis, you know, just the list goes on and on. There was so many people, homie. I know I'm forgetting some. That was big. That was big for him to share his platform in this moment with them artists. At the end of the day, is it gonna make somebody like Drake be like, hey, I don't want to work with them dudes? Nobody cares. It seems like they don't want to work with you, homie. They riding with the home team. Like I said, man, it was a dope moment to see. If you've been on the internet or social media, you didn't seen it. Even if you wasn't paying attention, you know what I'm talking about. Like I said, everybody was able to get their shine, and for him to put the people on that's from his immediate section. Like I said, Westside Boogie, Wale the Sensei, Jay Worthy and the Whoops. Them dudes is all from his immediate area. You know what I'm saying? Which it invalidates a lot of the stuff that Drake was saying in his disses, and as well as other stuff as far as him getting more love than him in his own city, all that. If you go back and if you've been paying attention to everything that has transpired from the time that Kendrick said on Like That, F the Big Three is just Big Me, all the way up until Not Like Us, all the way up until this performance. If you go back and listen to anything he said, it aged poorly, like spoiled milk. And everything Kendrick said aged like fine wine. And I seen earlier somebody was saying people act like Kendrick is above lying and everything he say is true. That's not what it is. What it is he hasn't given us no reason to believe that he's a liar as opposed to the other guy in this beef. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, why should we believe you? You ain't never gave us nothing to believe in. There's nothing that Kendrick has done from the time that he started up until now that makes you believe he's a liar. There's nothing that Drake has done from the time that he has started up until now that makes you believe that he's sincere and genuine and a believable guy. Nothing. So that show was just the icing on the cake yesterday, man. Like I said, he shared that moment. It's all kind of subliminals in there. From the outfit where he was dressed like Tupac at some event back in the days, to all the songs that he performed, starting it off with Euphoria, then going into DNA, basically, you know, what makes up who you are as a person, your DNA element, where he was subbing him back then on the damn album, Humble, We Gonna Be All Right, it's Juneteenth. We already know what that song did for the Black Lives Matter movement. And on top of that, you said he rapping like he trying to free the slaves. Like, it just, everything he performed, it was shots. It was shot after shot after shot. I think Drake had alluded to him not being respected by TDE or not messing with them. They all had a reunion on stage. Like I said, he just debunked every single thing this dude said, homie. Now, if you sat there and watched that yesterday, like I said, I didn't watch it at the time, but when I was laying down later on board, I watched the whole 3.5 hours of it from beginning to the end. E40 did like the introduction, you know what I mean? Mustard was there, DJ Head, Ross, Weekend, they was in the crowd. They didn't perform. LeBron was in the crowd. DeMar DeRozan was there on stage with him. Russell was on stage with him. Russell Westbrook. Like I said, YG performed Who Do You Love? And right when he got to Drake part, he said, cut that short. Like, bro, so why you out here talking about, you know who really bang a set, my nigga YG? Like I said, just gives less credence to everything he said. Now, if you watch that show or you seen clips and you go back and listen to any push-ups, Family Matters, any of that, and tell me with a straight face if you think it hit the same. It don't. And if you say it do, you lying. You lying because them songs is full of lies. But that was legendary, homie, for the West Coast. And I know a lot of times when people say the West Coast, they think LA, they think Cali. I mean, Cali in general, LA being the biggest city. But I mean, that's also the surrounding, whether it be Arizona, Nevada, Oregon, Washington. I don't know what else y'all consider the West Coast. Is Denver the West Coast? That's close enough. They give me a West Coast vibe in Denver. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta feel different, homie. You have to feel. I don't know how you, especially being from the West Coast, but in the music industry in general, a lot of people is rocking with Kendrick because it's authentic. But if you from the West Coast and you saw that and you still like, nah, Drake won, or that's my favorite rapper, like I gotta question you, bro. I mean, it's your prerogative, but I gotta question you. The fact that Dre was, and listen, I don't know if y'all know this, but before Dre had signed Kendrick, there was a point in time where he worked with Drake. Before Young Money had picked up on Drake, before they signed him and all that, it was a time where he flew out, or Dre flew him out and he worked with him. And at the end of those sessions, he gave him a $10,000 check and sent him home and never called him back. Everybody knows this is public information. So to see somebody that could have signed you go on to sign this guy who is like your biggest nemesis, and for him to be the one to go, I see dead people, and then the song starts about you being a pedophile, That's wild. That's wild, and that gotta do something to you. But like I said, man, it was a party, man. It was a party yesterday. That was something that we ain't never seen in the culture, and my hat's off to everybody who stood on business. I think the only person that wasn't standing on business this whole beef was the game, and you didn't see the game there. Like I said, he dissed Ross. Ross was there. Ross is in the crowd. You know what I'm saying? The Weeknd is there. He in the crowd. So it just looked like ain't nobody rocking with that dude, homie. And you can only be a fraud for so long, homie. You can only be fraudulent for so long before it catches up with you. I think Drake came in the game at the right time, and it was something different. He was the emo thing was taking off at the time. You had Kanye, who had just outsold 50 Cent. You had Kid Cudi. You had Drake, this dude from Canada. He's singing. He's rapping. It was something different. But I don't know if it would have worked in any other era. I don't think it would have worked had Lil Wayne not been his cosign, because Lil Wayne was the biggest rapper at that time. Had Ludacris or Busta Rhymes or somebody discovered him, you know what I mean? And these dudes are legends. I'm just saying they wasn't at the top of the game at that time. Lil Wayne was. I'm just throwing somebody else out. I don't think it would have worked. But he made it to where he made it to. He's done a lot of legendary things, but I mean, let's just be honest, man. It's not looking like that's gonna continue. Not saying that the dude ain't never gonna have a successful song or album, because his core fan base is the fan base, and you see some of them have come to the realization like, okay, he lost, but he's still my favorite. Some of them is like, yeah, I don't know, I kind of backed up off of him. But then you got the delusional ones who still are running with the narrative that he fed Kendrick all this information, all this stuff that's been debunked multiple times. And like I said, anything he said about Kendrick has either been debunked. Well, shit, for the most part, yeah, all of it has been debunked. Like, there's literally no proof. And everything he said about you, there's at least smoke to that fire, if not proof. Like him being a culture vulture and all that is actually proof. Him having a daughter, I don't know. It's smoke there though, because he's done this before. And there's been rumblings of him having multiple kids throughout the industry. But we're not here to even just stay on the gossip. I'm just talking about the rap beef. Everything Kendrick said was either rumors or public knowledge, as opposed to him starting rumors, throwing it out there and seeing if it stuck, and none of it stuck. And it's like, for a nigga to be hyping up his diss track like this is my red button the whole time, and you knew that there was nothing in there concrete, that's wild. So when someone calls you a liar and a master manipulator, and then it turns out that that's what you was doing the whole time, and he told you in euphoria that that's what you was going to do, and you continued on with your plan, you can't trust a nigga like that. You can't. But yeah, man, did y'all watch it? Did y'all watch it? Did y'all check it out? Was it entertaining? It was entertaining to me, man. If you haven't, I advise that some of y'all go check it out. Just go, who ain't into hip hop? You know what I mean? Especially if you on my channel, 9 times out of 10, probably 9.5 times out of 10, you into hip hop. If you a subscriber or a reoccurring watcher of the Hoodlum Gang. But that's my video for today, man. I just wanted to give y'all something. I'm going to come back with one tomorrow, man. Shout out Young Ant, man, from A-Tray. Yeah. Shout out to you, man. I got a video coming tomorrow about the video he made, about the video I made. But anyways, until next time, man, like that video. Leave me a comment. Subscribe, man. Come on, man. Let's push the channel to 30,000. Well, we at 23? Something like that. Man, give me the 30,000, man. I'm out.